Hello and congratulations. If you found yourself on this page, somebody sent you here who really cares about you and your business. I'm going to take just a few minutes and walk you through what you're going to see here. This is where you find out all of the specialized tax incentives and savings that might be on the table for your business within the next 30 seconds. How? Answer a few questions. This first question here is asking about how many employees you might hire annually. Whatever that number is on average with turnover, enter it. And you're going to select your industry. Don't worry if you don't see yours here, just choose other. We'll go ahead and say this is a restaurant. Hiring 10 employees annually, and the next question has to do with the COVID response. Was your business negatively impacted due to COVID-19? If it was, click yes. If it was not, click no. Just so I can show you all the steps, I'm going to click yes. Then how many current employees do you have? Maybe I've got 45 total at this location. So what it's doing right away is giving you an estimate of savings based on hiring incentives, which you may be overlooking, and based on right now what's going on is the employee retention credit for ERC for the COVID response. Don't worry if you've already taken this, just let it flow through because it's just an estimate. Okay, so now when I go to the next step, which I can get through search now or activate now, it's going to ask me a few more questions. It's going to confirm and fill in the industry and information I've already put in. It's going to ask me my annual payroll for this location. Do I own the property? Again, just to go through the steps, I'm going to say yes. And then what did I invest in this property? I'm going to say this is a $2 million property, and it's going to ask me where I had business through 2018 and 2019. This is important because there is another disaster employee retention credit that's calculated based on location. So if I choose Florida and then I pick one of these counties listed here, it's going to actually estimate more savings for me based on that information if you haven't taken the disaster ERC yet. Don't worry about this number. It can get pretty exciting. But you should see a number here that has something to do with everything we just talked about. Your hiring practices, COVID impact and response, and property information. Now when I click on next, it's going to show me this list of itemized potential savings. These are potential. It's not validated, but it breaks it all down and shows you what's what, right? WOTC, Work Opportunity Tax Credit, COVID Employee Retention Credit, Disaster Retention Tax Credit, and Commercial Property Incentives. Don't worry about any of the details on this. Again, there's no obligation. You're not locking yourself into doing anything, and there's no cost to explore all of these. Now, when I click on next here, it's going to start to ask me to activate and get started. This is a subscription, and it's going to be based on the number of employees that you hire annually. Remember what we said here, we're going to hire 10 annually, so it's going to give me a number based on that. Now, the range based on how many you hire is going to be somewhere between $9 and $99 a month, with the average being about $29 a month. That lets you screen unlimited employees based on that range, and there's no extra employee charge when you're screening for work opportunity tax credits. Now don't worry about this either because it's not a long-term commitment, it's not a major contract, it's month to month. So if, again, I'm looking at a potential of $1.4 million, I don't know how much of that's going to be realized, but to find out, I'm going to want to fill this out. So fill your information out in here. And then as you go on to the next step, it's going to ask you just a couple more pieces of information. It's going to have you subscribe to the tax management software, and then it's going to get you a whole itemized list of all your savings potential. This is me right down here, Eric Neller. Okay, that's my direct cell number, and this is my email address. You're going to see this information on the page you're on too. So any questions along the way, please get in touch. I'm Eric with Maranatha Consulting, and my mission is to get millions back to Main Street. So I want to help you realize as much savings and bottom line benefits as I can. And everything's contingent. There is no obligation, long-term contract, or big upfront payments for this. I look forward to serving you and helping you get millions back to Main Street.